Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In today's video, bit of a rare occurrence. Battlefield has put out another community survey, and you know what time it is. We have to take the survey together, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, hit the like button and of course subscribe to the channel. Over 70% of people that watch my videos do not subscribe. So maybe you think you're subscribed, but you're not. Just check, only takes a click. Let's just get right into it. So this survey may have some varying questions for us. I know it deals with some of the vehicle overhauls on some of the maps, so I have that pulled up on the enemy screen. I just said the other screen, so we can go over that. Without further ado, let's just get into the first question here. How likely is it that you would recommend Battlefield 2042 to a friend or colleague? Recommend is a very strong word. I wouldn't really recommend this game to anyone, if I'm being completely honest with you. However, I would suggest trying the game on heavy discount for people that have never played it before, if that makes sense. So where does that put me on this question? It's about, I don't know, like a 3. Next question. What changes would the Battlefield team have to make for you to give it a higher rating? Well then, I could sit here for literally an hour and write out a paragraph that you're not going to read and like immediately shred. So I'm just going to give you 3 simple things. Fix the mouse and controller input. Fix the recoil bugs. And fix burst firing in your gunplay system. Gunapla. Yeah, that's how I spell that. I think those 3 suggestions would generally raise my rating substantially, even with all the other existing problems. Let's continue. Community team. Community team runs several initiatives to keep you updated on what's happening in Battlefield 2042. The next few questions will ask you more about how you feel about these different forms of communication. Select none at all for initiatives you are unfamiliar with. I'm just going to go ahead and take this, and I'll skip ahead and show you my answers. All right, now that I've answered, let's just go and quickly walk through them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our Inside Battlefield podcast? I actually like them. I think they do a good job. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our dev notes? I like those too. I think they're a little better than the patch notes because they provide a little more in-depth look at things. How would you rate the patch notes? Well, I would rate them higher if you included every change. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Anyhow, moving on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the communication from our Battlefield Twitter accounts? I'm not calling them X accounts. I'm just not. You have to deal with it. It's Twitter. Battlefield, terrible. I have to be honest with you. The official @Battlefield account on Twitter has always been lacking in communication, especially compared to other games. I think they could really step up their shit with that and just make it better in general. It's very easy to. They just have to post more, tell us more things, more, essentially. With that being said, the Battlefield direct communication Twitter is great. That's where a lot of people get their information from, and keep doing that. That's good. Scale 1 to 10. How would you rate the communication and engagement you receive from your community team? I don't really think it matters that much, to be honest with you. Like, they kind of just answer some questions here and there. They announce some things here and there. They clarify things. It's fine, but it's not, like, that great. So I don't really know. I honestly don't really care about it, if I'm being honest. What does the community team do well? Deliver information. What could the community team do better? Help Ash, BF, and others in the same situation. Ban the stream snipers that are ruining his enjoyability. Thank you. Moving on. Update 5.3, Vehicle Checkpoint. We'd like to learn more about your experience with vehicles as part of the present gameplay experience of Battlefield 2042 and the changes that were introduced with Update 5.3. How would you rate the vehicle balancing in Update 5.3? Well, in Update 5.3, do they mean only the update notes themselves within 5.3, or do they mean the overall vehicle balancing in the entire game as a result of 5.3? I don't know. I'm going to say it's about a 3. There's a lot of room for improvement, but I also think the attack-related changes were much needed, much overdue. As much detail as you can. What caused you to rate the vehicle balancing this way? Much room left for improvement. There you go. A scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your experience with the attack helicopters? Much better in my opinion. About a 7. If there was a 7.5, I'd put a 7.5, but there isn't, so I'm gonna round down. Is there anything you'd like to see improved with this vehicle class? I would still like to see handling improvements for the attack helicopters. And they kind of just feel like boats. I understand that they're big, heavy attack vehicles, but it feels like a boat to me, so they could probably improve that. How do you feel about the attack helicopter firepower after update 5.3? Yeah, they're good. It's like a 9 out of 10. They're scary now. Like 2 tow missiles, anti-vehicle rockets are very accurate, do a shit ton of damage. The gunner thermal is devastating. They're scary now, for sure. With that being said, the AA can easily just pester them until they can't play the game, because AA is completely overpowered and ridiculous in this game. But if you do a good job of countering the AA, the attack helicopters are finally scary again, in my opinion. What caused you to rate this the way you have? The update notes of 5.3. Pretty simple. Do you feel the changes made to aircraft handling have made the vehicles more impactful and fun? Yes, I do. That's about an 8. What would improve this rating? Moving on. Do you feel the overall experience of using the attack helicopters have been improved upon? Yes. 8 out of 10. Very good. Do you feel the changes made to the LCA hovercraft? Okay, I don't care about this. Sure. Yes, I really like using it. That's great. Moving on. 5.3 vehicle counts. I have the 5.3 vehicle counts to my left, actually. Update 5.3 will make substantial changes to the balancing of vehicles counts in Conquest 64 and 128 for our all-out warfare maps. Below, you will find a series of questions in relation to this. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the following Conquest 64 maps in terms of vehicle balancing counts? So I went ahead and answered, and basically they're asking you, do these vehicle counts need to be changed? Why or why not? Like, rate it. I really haven't played Conquest much in this game because I really don't like it, so I just went down the list and pretty much just put 3, like, whatever. That's just pretty much like a neutral answer in my opinion. And then Conquest 128, I've played Exposure quite a bit. It needs some changes in my opinion, so it's discarded. Kaleidoscope's okay. Stranded's okay. Needs some changes. I think there's too many. I don't think Stranded should have transport vehicles, if I'm being completely honest with you. Super Hind, just remove that. It's annoying. The Stranded is small enough where I don't think it needs it. Manifest is okay. Hourglass is okay. Renewal, it can get kind of annoying with the amount of... I think there's like 2 AA guns. I could be completely wrong. I'm going to change that answer. Don't change that. So those are my answers. Are you happy about the vehicle count changes arriving in part of Update 5.3? Well, some maps such as Spearhead are getting a ton of tanks. Some maps such as Exposure are getting a ton of attack helicopters. We're talking 3 attack helicopters per side on Exposure 128 Conquest. That is very worrying. So I'm slightly worried about it. Moving on to Battlefield 2042 Redux. How would you rate Battlefield 2042 Redux overall? I have to be completely honest. I don't really care. So I'm gonna put that about a 1. Actually, though, it's not the worst thing you could have done. It's just, I don't care about it. I don't think anyone really cares about it. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the following topics in relation to Battlefield 2042 Redux? Offers replayability. Once again, I don't think anyone cares. It gives new rewards. Don't care. Allows me to catch up. That's good. That's good. Allows you to catch up if you haven't done it before. That's really good. Brings back seasonal modes. That's decent. You know, it's fine. Matches, challenge versus reward. I disagree. I think the challenges are incredibly easy. Offers mode variety. That's, yes, of course. I agree with that. Progression respects my playtime. Sure. I don't even think about that. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the following in relation to Battlefield 2042 Redux? I'm okay with the 6-week downtime between Redux and Season 6. No. I understand how Redux works. Yes. I like replaying past content. No. There are meaningful rewards to work towards in Redux. This is a matter of opinion. In my opinion, no. In your opinion, probably yes, no, maybe so. Not sure. I'm okay with the period of time between one season and the next. No. I see what you're trying to do here, Dice. No. No. Stop. Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, Season 8. Boom, boom, boom. That's how they're supposed to be. Don't try to fucking survey us to see, are you guys okay with this? No. Redux strikes a good balance between paid and earnable content. Sure. Redux has improved. Actually, no. There's way more paid content, if I remember correctly, right? There's multiple store bundles, so no. Redux has improved upon previous seasonal modes through feedback and content. Yes, actually. Yes. Redux has made Battlefield 2042 more entertaining. This is, again, a matter of opinion. For me, no. For you, yes, no, maybe so. What are your thoughts about Battlefield 2042 Redux? Uninspired. Uninspired. I feel like it's a pretty fair answer. Battlefield 2042, general questions. What is this? Oh no. Position the following based on how important they are to you. I'm gonna take a break and I'll be right back. All right, so I went and thought about this for a little bit, and this is what I've come up with. This is actually harder than what I thought it would be. Okay, you guys know me. High skill gameplay. High skill gameplay, mechanics, things to learn, things that challenge you, things that feel good to do. That is, in my opinion, not only the most important thing for me, but the most important thing for Battlefield in general right now, ever. They need to make sure the gameplay in the next Battlefield game is compelling and better than Battlefield 2042. And one thing that could help do that is making sure the next Battlefield has some sort of skill gap, some sort of thing to learn, some sort of thing taking skill. So high skill gameplay, very important to me. Having an impact on the game, also very important to me. Close quarters combat, a good balance of that between, close quarters combat, vehicle maps, that sort of thing. Infantry warfare, very important to me. Loadout customization, team play, squad play. Chaos and destruction, not too much destruction. Okay, some people are like, I want to blow everything up. No, okay, no. You're ruining the game, okay? Destruction should be limited. Limited to a point where it makes sense and that the area destroyed doesn't ruin the gameplay of that area. Vehicle warfare, soldier customization, teammates who prioritize winning. Don't give a fuck about that, to be honest with you. I don't worry about my teammates at all when I play the game because it's a moot point. You hit tab, I'm, just today, I was 40-4, and guess what? One of my teammates was 1-15, 3-14, 1-28. Like, I don't care about what my teammates are doing. It's not my problem. I can't help them not go 1-28. I just can't. So I don't bother worrying about it. Playing objective, that's what happens by default anyway. You know, kill people, go on the objective, da-da-da. I'm not worried about it. That's kind of an autopilot thing for me. So is playing my class role. So is teammates who prioritize their class effectively. Not worried about relaxed gameplay and could not give less of a fuck about high player count. Don't care. So that's how I would order that in my opinion. Do you participate in Battlefield 2042's end of season narrative hunts? I don't know what that is. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know what that is. I'm going to go with no. How do you feel about these narrative hunts? I don't know what you are talking about. What's your most played mode in Battlefield 2042? Breakthrough 64. For me, it's Breakthrough 64 because I used to play Conquest. That was my main game mode, right? But in Battlefield 2042, the maps are so bad, in my opinion, even after the reworks, I can't stand playing them. So I play Breakthrough 64. Hopefully that will change in the next Battlefield game. I also play... Okay, well, I can only pick one there. How many hours do you typically play Battlefield 2042 in a single session? Between 2 to 3. I'm going to say 2. I stream for about 2 to 3 hours, so between 2 and 3. I always love YouTube comments that they watch the gameplay in the back of my videos. They're like, bro, go touch some fucking grass. Oh my God, go outside. It's like, you have no idea how little I play this game. I barely play the game. Battlefield 2042 weapon balancing. This should be good. This next section is a series of 3 pages. Oh boy. Each page will ask you about your impressions of the balancing of your weapon categories in Battlefield 2042. To start with, we'll cover SMG and assault weapons before going on to LMG marksman weapons, and finally, sniper and tactical weapons. Please score each weapon based on your personal experience with them. Really? Okay. This is going to be interesting. Holy shit. Okay, I'll be back and I'll show you my answers. So for the SMG and AR section, for the PBX-45, it doesn't really need much changes in my opinion. PB-29, someone argued that it's overpowered. I don't really know what you would do to it though, in my opinion. Are you going to heavily reduce the ammo count? Okay, at that point, you're not keeping true to the real weapon. So like, I don't know, you can't really do that. You could nerf the RPM. It's not really overpowered in terms of its TTK though. So the PP Bison is just generally the best SMG in my opinion, but it's not the most it's not overpowered. It doesn't really like blow anything out of the water. It loses straight TTK fights to almost a slew of weapons in the game, including weapons in this very category. So it's kind of a difficult one to balance, in my opinion. You could maybe change some of the way the bullet velocities are, then that would maybe make it less overpowered for some people. MP9 and K30, these weapons feel awful in my opinion. You need to do something with their recoil, you need to do something with their damage models, and I think you can make it a little bit better. AC9, it's all right. I don't think it needs much changes at all. P90 and AKS, awful feeling guns. Just straight up terrible. You could double the P90's bullet velocity, and I honestly don't think I would use it. That gun feels awful. Same with the AKS-74U. With the AKS-74U, you need to change the damage model. Make it interesting. It's a slow fire rate SMG. Make it a hard-hitting weapon. Stop making it like this little pussy AK weapon. No, you need to make it interesting, right? Change the damage model. PP2000, I think it's really good. I think it's slept on, actually. I'm actually going to improve my rating of that weapon. Try the PP2000. It's like a SCAR. It's really good. For the ARs, down the board, I don't think they need many changes. Honestly, I really don't. I think they're pretty well balanced. The SCAR is definitely the standout, but even then, I don't think it's... Actually, it's pretty fucking good. You could probably make some changes to the SCAR and it would still be fine. But in general, I think most of the ARs don't need changes, except for the MTAR and the AEK. The AEK in this game is vomit-inducing. You need to completely rework that entire gun, as well as the MTAR. I think the MTAR is awful. For a little bit, the MTAR had that weird little niche area where it had that 4 BTK range, but that turned out to be a bug, so they removed it. I think you give it back that 4 BTK range to give it a unique use case scenario. Make something unique, like I said with the AKS, right? Moving on to the next sections. So for the LMG and DMR categories, these are my answers. LCMG Advances, they're fine. PKP has been one of the worst guns in the entire game in terms of just how it feels. That gun needs a complete rework, like the AEK-971. RPT, M60, XM8, and M240 are all fine in my opinion. M240 is a bit wonky. You could tighten up just the way the visual recoil and everything feels on that gun. Type 88 and RPK kind of the same boat for me. They're kind of meh. Even though they buffed the RPK, it's kind of like eh. They're not terrible, it's just eh. In terms of the DMR category, this was actually pretty difficult for me to rate. DM7, I think, is the least worrisome of all of them. SVK is crazy strong, and I think that has to deal with, obviously, the damage model and the RPM. It's a really fast 2-tap from a crazy distance. Doesn't need to be changed. I'm not exactly sure, because you can still die from a very far distance from a lot of these guns. I do think that you could probably nerf the RPM on it, and it would still be incredibly strong. Same goes for the M39 EMR and SVD. I think the RPMs being 300 and it being a 2-tap within 40 meters is insane. I mean, it's 200 millisecond TTK to the body. So you could reduce the RPM on those and have no problem. With the VCAR, I've always felt it was underwhelming. Maybe give it a full auto mode. Maybe. Make it more interesting. You could reduce the RPM, but give it a full auto mode, like the Trench Carbine in Battlefield 5. Something interesting. The BSVM, I'm not sure it actually needs to be changed. I was thinking about this pretty hard. It's still insane, but doesn't need to be nerfed. I don't know if it needs to be nerfed anymore. It's been nerfed 3 times, and I think they finally got to a point where it's like, okay, you can exist in the game. With that being said, still one of the most versatile weapons in the entire game. Very strong. Moving on to the next section. Let's see. What do we got here? We got the snipers. I don't think any of these need significant changes, in my opinion. I don't think they at all. Except the NTW50. Actually, remove the NTW50's ability to one-shot me. Thank you. But actually, they don't need any significant changes, in my opinion. And finally, the tactical weapons. The MCS 880, dog shit weapon, needs significant change. Like, make it kill things, right? Make it kill things. Don't make it overpowered. Don't make it one-shot me from a crazy distance. Make it a shotgun that's effective within shotgun ranges. Government 4570, I don't think it really needs many changes. It's a niche little fun weapon. 12M auto, nerf this weapon, please. Ghostmaker R10 doesn't need any changes. Rorsch, I think the Rorsch is one of those cases where it needs significant change because it's so fundamentally overpowered. I don't really think you can fix the Rorsch. You would have to change the entire way this gun functions for it to be better. You would have to basically remove it from the game. So I'm going to say it needs significant change, but you can't really do much to it. NVK, again, I don't really see anyone use this gun, so I don't really know. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put like a neutral answer there. I don't know. Final thoughts. In one word, answer the following question. With Battlefield 2042, I'd prefer if DICE focused on... Ooh. This is interesting. I'd prefer if DICE focused on execution. I was dabbling between execution and quality. There are a million words you could put here, but execution is, I think, one that really is a solid thing that they should focus on. Make sure you're doing it right, whatever you're doing. Please describe Battlefield 2042 in one word. My genuine feeling towards the game, whenever I think about it, is unfortunate. Seriously, like, I think unfortunate is a good word there for Battlefield 2042. There are many other words that I could put there too, but unfortunate encapsulates a lot of it. Do you have any final comments that you'd like to share with us? Please make sure you don't pull another Battlefield 2042 release with the next title. And with that, I submit this survey. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the survey, if you enjoyed the channel, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Follow me on Twitch, Discord, Twitter, Instagram. The whole fucking thing is below in the description. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.